third thing I would say is what's done in the dark gonna come in the light. Just make sure you are who you say you are. And if you're not and you get exposed, don't quit. Just make a change. You can do it one day at a time. Everybody ain't gonna get it, but they're not supposed to.
So how's life been treating you since the last time we sat down, my brother?
Man, life has been life, man. I've gone through a tremendous amount of change since we last sat down, but especially since August, man. You know, just going through that phase to where, you know, and I got to take it, you know, I've been through phases to where everything I touched turned to gold, you know, and things were just added to me. Now it feels like everything I touch is just going to hell. You know what I'm saying? Literally. And I'm just, you know, and I'm in that deduction phase, just being stripped of everything, you know, and I'm doing my absolute best to take full responsibility for it too. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you only go as far as your habits and your decisions.
Right.
You know,
Well,
there comes a point in time where you got to be accountable for all of your actions.
Well, I think we touched on it last season. I think that's one of the first signs of becoming a man and being a man is taking accountability and responsibility for your actions.
Yes.
Whatever it is you've been dealing with, you know, the first step to correcting it or getting it on track is to at least acknowledge your role and your responsibility in whatever it is that you've been going through. Yeah. And then you can start from there. Yeah. It's all about how you respond to the things that happen.
That is 1090, man. Life is 10% what happened to you.
Even if the things that happen are self-inflicted.
Absolutely, yeah.
You still have an opportunity to rebound and come out better on the other side from it if you're willing. I think my good brother Charlemagne always says is that the best apology is changed behavior. Yeah. And I ain't saying that you owe an apology, but sometimes the best correction to anything that you've done wrong is to change that behavior that caused it the first time.
To make that 180.
You know what I mean?
And to be serious about that. And, you know, you got to sow better seeds to get a better harvest.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody can do that for you. You have to make a conscious decision on your own. Just like, you know what? I just don't like the result that I'm getting. Mm-hmm. I genuinely don't like the man that I've become up until this point. You see what I'm saying? And I no longer feel that some of my behavior is acceptable to me. And I want to just, you know, make some modifications and just take my life because I'm about to be forward in a different direction.
Man, talk to me about what you just said about you not liking the man that you saw yourself becoming or the man that you saw yourself being in that moment. Talk to me about that, because that's real.
Yeah, man.
That's real.
And one thing, and I will tell you a little bit more about that, but like, you know, having a pure and clean conscience too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like we put a lot of, like in society, you can't put a price on peace. And a lot of people, myself included, we always talking about hustling. You know, how we're going to come up, what we're going to get next. You know, the bag, you know, jewelry, the way it's popularized, you know what I'm saying, in music today, you know, acquiring things. But if you're acquiring all this stuff, man, and you ain't the right person, you're not going to keep it. Right. If you're acquiring all this stuff and you don't have peace of mind, then what do you have? You know? So not at much. This point, you know, working through guilt, shame, unforgiveness, pride, ego, just working through a lot of little things in myself. You know, I realized at the end of the day, the most important thing is having peace. The most important thing is liking who I am.
So when you said a minute ago about like forgiveness, are you speaking about someone that you may have wrong forgiving you, or are you talking about forgiving yourself?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, but the majority of it is me being able to forgive myself for what I've done and the pain that I caused. You know, that's the hard part. Because sometimes, you know, you get angry, you get prideful. You know, you stick 100%. Your chest out, you know what I'm saying? Right. And, you know, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to win anyway. You know what I mean? That's what you show. But behind closed doors, when there's nobody around you and it's just you, and you got to face the impact of what you did, man, sometimes, bro, I'm going to tell you the truth, man. That's a heavy burden to carry. That's a heavy load. You know what I mean? When you can't find rest, when you can't eat, you know what I mean? You've been faking around. People have been faking on social media all day. But when you left to deal with yourself and what you've done in private, you can fake it all day. But when you got to face that thing by yourself.
Yeah, that's that real.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's so crazy because, you know, that state of frustration, that state of confusion, guilt, shame, anger too, because you're angry at yourself.
Right.
Because you let yourself down. You know what I'm saying? You allowed yourself to be in these positions and you know better.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so, you know, like Killer Mike said, man, being in that self-guilt like jail, man, it was hard to look myself in the face while I brush my teeth in the morning.
That's heavy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy.
This episode of the 1090 Show is brought to you by our sponsor, Project Lean Nation. We are a comprehensive wellness program, and we are the next step in your health and fitness journey. We leverage support, technology, education, and prepared meals to help you get from where you are to where you want to be in a desirable fashion.
How did you come from out of that space, though?
I'm still coming out of it slowly but surely. I'm not all the way out. But one thing I'm trying to do is just understanding, like you said, one of the best ways in time, because this is going to take some time, but one of the best ways that I can make an amends is A, I got to forgive myself. B, I got to just change my behavior. It's just certain things when you go to the next level, you can't take bad habits, bad behavior to the next level with you. It'll never work.
No.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
And then we live in a time where things happen so fast. Like you make, I won't call it a mistake. You choose to do something you feel like you want to do. It don't go exactly how you think it is. It can get out of hand. A private matter can go public like this. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, you haven't even dealt with it on a private matter, but now it's out of hand. It's everywhere.
Man, it's funny just how those old sayings that we learned when as children, what's done in the dark will come to light, right?
Hey, there you go.
You know what I mean?
Talk that talk. That is for real.
That's just, there's nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun.
So even when you out here, you think you smooth and you think you move in a certain way, there's everything that's done in the dark will come to light.
Man, the only person you're going to get over on in the end is
yourself, really and truly.
That's the only person you're going to get over on. Now, I won't say the only person, but you definitely going to get over on yourself in the process
of
doing that. You know what I'm saying? And me, I was raised to live a certain way. You may not be able to tell. Some people may not be able to tell from the actions that I've been doing, but I got a certain code. There's just certain things that I know is wrong, and we'll do it anyway because we can justify it. And sometimes you just get caught up in doing what you want to do to prove a point. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I'm going to show y'all.
Yeah.
This is what I'm doing. This is route to where I'm going. You know what I mean? But when that decision making get in the way of your peace, then it's time to make some changes. Yeah. You know what I mean? I made a decision to take my life in a different direction on January 1st. You know what I mean? Leading up to the 1st. I knew which direction I wanted to go in, and I was standing on business. I wanted to go in that direction. You know, I was serious about the direction that I was going in too, and I was really going in that direction. But then something happened to my son. The day that I decided, this is where I'm going, this is the direction that I'm going to go with my life.
Right.
That day I made that decision, we had to take Eli to the doctor. The doctor sent us to the emergency room. But during that time, we don't know what it is. You know, Saturday he was fine. Sunday he had a little limp. Monday was New Year's Day, the 1st. He couldn't bear any weight at all. So we had to take him to the urgent care. Urgent care sent us to the hospital, to the ER. While I was in the ER, They, ended up admitting us so we could see what was going on. And it was either an infection, it was a cyst, or it was cancer. So when you're in a situation like that, you really don't know what's going on, how it's going to come out. And I was leaning on my wife at the time because she knows more about the human body than me. Her and the doctor was talking about how best case scenario is a bacterial infection, then it could be a cyst, then it can be, boom, cancer. When the test results came back, that it wasn't bacteria, and there was a possibility that it could be a cyst or cancerous, I had to call his mom. The way she squealed, bro, that shook everything in me. Because the way she squealed, I lost all confidence. It gotta be bad if she acting like that. Then the doctor was somber. There was like no hope. You know what I mean? He gotta give us all of the facts. That really isn't a best case scenario. You get what I'm saying? And she wasn't there. I was in the hospital room by myself with Eli, and I had to pray to God, bro. And it was so crazy because the things that I had been doing, I just couldn't pray for whatever reason. I couldn't get in that groove. When it came time for me to get on my knees and cry out to ask God for help because my baby boy needed help, and the only thing I know to do, how I was raised, was get on your knees and pray, bro. When I got on my knees, I could not pray. That was the strangest thing that I ever experienced in my entire life. I could not pray. And the reason why I could not pray is because he revealed something in me, to me, that I was doing and practicing and living in, that I had to find a way to get up out of it, relieve myself from the situation, or whatever. And that put me in an utter state of just fear, frustration, confusion, sorrow, guilt, shame. I'm talking about all the feelings that you think you can feel. I felt all of that at one time, bro. Everything was happening so fast, I was in this whirlwind. Lost my brother, wife, family, business, everything. Like that, boom, 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 boom. I was literally just caught up in the whirlwind, numb. When I made the decision, this is where I'm going with my life, it is what it is. Something happened to my son. My son needed me. I tried to go before God and I couldn't pray. It's like sometimes you could be so caught up and just so set on doing what you want to do, doing what you feel like doing, you don't even realize that desire, whatever it is so far out of line with what God would have you to do.
Right.
You feel me? Or let's say it maybe ain't that bad, but you got some other things that you got to take care of before you can do that. Mm-hmm. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, so if sometimes the act is just that bad, it can alter your destiny and your purpose. It's not what he has for you to do. Or it's not as bad. You just need to get in line, get in his will, handle your business accordingly so you can proceed and move on with what you think you want to do.
Right.
Right? But there is a scripture that said there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end there is death. You follow me? I legit at a point thought I was right based upon how I was thinking and feeling. You know what I'm saying? But it was revealed to me only when I had to really go to him and ask for something serious. Was something happening to your child? Most people, I don't know. I can just really speak for myself. When that happened to my baby boy, I had no answers. I felt powerless. And when I had to go to God, because that's the only thing I know to do, and I couldn't, then he showed me, I was like, wow. That is what brought about the guilt and the shame. Because now I got to try to fix this. I don't know how to do it. This is beyond me. I've robbed somebody. I've been affiliated, I've been in a robbery. I went to prison. But what I was feeling at this point in time, it blocked everything. And I'm telling you, guilt and shame is so strong. I've been in prison where people had incidences where, in their case, they got murdered, they got killed. And I've seen them, they wake up in the middle of the night wrestling with that. yelling and screaming because of the consequences of their actions. Once that was revealed to me, I couldn't sleep. I'm wrestling with what I'm doing. I can't forgive myself. I can't look at myself. I'm thinking I brought all of this on my son. You get what I'm saying? Right. I'm thinking about all the people now that I hurt. But in that moment, the weight, the magnitude of everything, it hit me, bro. It hit me so hard. I was like, damn, now I know why people commit suicide. I ain't gonna say I thought about killing myself, but I can tell you, I understand now in a way that I've never understood before.
Damn, bro.
They say life is 10/90. 10% of what happens, and 90% of how you respond. Yo, I'm trying to elevate, so I'ma take the ups with the downs. Pound for pound, the greatest, God gave me the crown. Graduated from the streets, got my cap and my gown. Made mistakes on the way, but I turned them around.